What page we
So
are?
we're ready now. Page 123.
Thank you, Mr.
Welcome. And I'm gonna ask you to mute your mics while you're not speaking, guys. Okay. All right. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. How does energy move through an ecosystem? Remember, we were talking about in the previous class, we were talking about consumers, producers, consumers, decomposers, and scavengers. So, who would like to tell me what is a producer?
I want Mr.
Tell me.
Producer, an organism that use sunlight
Sir,
to
I
make
have the
air from
definition.
water and carbon dioxide.
All right. When I am asking you for a definition, I would like you to tell me in your own words. What is a producer in your own words? I don't want you to go ahead and read.
That is one organism that use the light to
Hmm.
make oxygen, uh, wa- the sugar, and other things.
Sure. So a producer is an organism that is able to produce their own food, like the plants, right?
Yes.
Give me 1 second. All right. That being said, guys, I'm going to ask you to please stop using the chat. Why? Because unless I tell you to do so, right? Okay, it's science class, Mr. Acosta. And after that, well, nobody else should be using the chat. Okay, so we're gonna start. And it says, how does energy move through an ecosystem? Remember, there are producers, there are consumers, there are decomposers, and there are scavengers. So the energy is moving throughout all these organisms in the ecosystem. And it is very important that we know how. Okay, it says, look at the palm tree below. It is like a factory making the sugar it needs, with the sun providing the energy. The energy stored in the sugar is the energy that flows through a food web. Okay, so we're going to learn about food chains and energy pyramids today. Right, we were talking about the palm tree over here. It's like a factory. Why? Because it is producing energy for some other organisms. It says the palm tree captures energy from the sunlight. During photosynthesis, the tree stored some of this energy as sugar in plant parts, such as the palm fruit. Over time, the tree grew and produced the fruit you see. Energy went from the sun to the palm tree, and then from the palm tree to another organism, and so on. All right, let me call on someone to read. I'm going to have Ashley, go ahead and read the first part of the paragraph, please.
Life on the earth depends on the sun energy producers such as palm trees change the sun energy into energy stored in sugar. Plants use this sugar, that energy stored in in it, and nutrients from the soil to grow all their parts.
Thank you very
All
much.
that
Yeah, just that. Okay, so first thing that we need to understand is that the producers use the sunlight to make sugar, to produce oxygen and different nutrients. They also use different nutrients from the soil to grow all the other parts of the plant, the roots, the stem, the branches, and the leaves, right? So that is very important. I'm gonna have Isaias go ahead and read the next part, please.
All the energy that consumers get comes from plants.
directly or indirectly. The macaw in the picture gets energy directly from the fruit of the palm tree. Other consumers eat plants indirectly when they eat other consumers because all of a plant's energy comes from the sun. All the energy consumer get comes from the sun too.
Sun. Thank you very much. So, yeah, all the energy that the consumers are getting come from a producer, right? Directly or indirectly. How? Look at the macaw in the picture. So this macaw eats the energy-rich palm fruit, and this energy passes from the palm tree to the macaw. When how? Whenever the macaw is eating the fruit that comes from this palm tree, the energy is being transferred from the palm tree to the macaw. So in this case, the palm tree is a producer and the macaw is a consumer, right? Someday another animal may eat the macaw, then the energy will go to that animal. Let's say another animal like a snake or I don't know, a hawk probably. One of these animals
Jaguar.
yeah, jaguar will probably eat one the macaw. So in this case, the energy will be transferred from the macaw to that animal, right? So that how it works. The energy is moving um, from one organism to another organism. Okay, and that's the same way we get our energy as well, because we eat many different things because we are omnivores, right? So the energy passes from the plants to our body or from the meat from another animal to our own body, okay? So energy pyramid, it's a diagram that compares the amount of energy available at each position or level in the feeding order. Let me see, I'm gonna have Axel reading the first part of the paragraph.
Food chains are diagrams scientists use to show how energy and nutrients pass from one organism to another in an ecosystem. The arrows on the food chain on the left show the path that energy and nutrients take. Notice that this food chain begins with plants that get energy from the sun. Follow the path that energy takes in the food chain from the tree to the jaguar.
Thank you very much. So a food chain is a diagram that is used to show how the energy passes from one organism to another organism, right? Or how energy and nutrients pass from one organism to another in the ecosystem. Yes, Benjamin. Hello.
Know that my dog was in the house.
And that's why you were raising your hand. Okay. So that's a food chain. So a diagram that shows how the energy passes from one organism to another one. And let me have someone else reading this part. I'm gonna have Wilmer. Go ahead and read the next part.
Says, compare this food chain with the energy pyramid. On the next page, the energy pyramid compares the amount of energy available at each position or level. In the feeding order, the first level represents the energy trapped by the trees and all the other producers in the rainforest. This is the largest level because it is level with the most energy. Plants get this energy directly from the sun.
Thank you very much. So a food chain and a energy pyramid are not the same thing, right? Because the energy pyramid compares or shows the amount of energy that is available at each position or at each level. Okay, and so the first level is obviously represented by the energy that is trapped by the trees and all the other producers in the rainforest. So because these are, they have to be at the top because they are the only organisms that can use the sunlight to produce energy. All right.
Mister,
Yes.
I didn't hear Wilmer.
No
I
problem.
just hear but a little bit, and I don't know where we are. I just say when Axel read.
We are here. All right. So
And
I'm gonna have. Let me see. Darling, go ahead and read. Darling. Okay, Miss Arano, continue, please.
Notice that the next level of the pyramid is smaller than the first. It shows the energy available to animals such as the termites that feed on trees, and less energy is available to these animals because the rainforest plants use up some energy for their own needs. This energy is lost as heat. The organisms in each level of the energy pyramid eat those in the level below them. They store some of the energy um, and use some energy for their life processes. This energy is lost heat. The shape of the pyramid shows that the
Mister, I don't hear no
amount of
one.
energy is available to the organisms in the top of the level.
Okay, thank you very much.
Above, both energy.
Miss Arano, thank you very much. We're gonna leave it over there. Okay, so the organisms in each level
Mr. Vanilla,
eat those in the level below them, of course. Yes, what is it?
that I don't hear no one, just you.
I don't know what may be happening. It's probably your connection, Ben. I mean, what I can recommend you is to follow. I mean, if you don't really know where we are, as you know, I am doing this with the words so you know where we're reading. So the most important thing is that you read and not necessarily to listen what the other people are reading, okay?
No, just read it.
Okay, so I'm gonna have, let me see. Maria Jose, go ahead and read the next part.
Also, both energy pyramid and food chains show the flow of energy. Food chains give a simplified view.
Simplified.
Simplified view. They don't show how the amount of energy change at each position in the chain. Food chains also simplify the relationships among organisms. Most organisms are part of many food chains. Besides eating termites, as shown in the food chain, Kinkajous eat other foods such as frogs, beetles, scorpions, ants, and fruits. Similarly, many consumers, besides jaguars, eat kangaroos.
Thank you very much. So this is basically what we have to understand about food chains and food and energy pyramids.
Mister,
They show the flow. Yes, Benjamin.
I just heard Maria Jose, and I find where we are.
Okay, perfect. I was saying that what they show is the flow of the energy. Okay, and they show like a simplified view of the flow of the energy. They don't show like, the whole amount of energy that is moving from one position to another one in the chain. It's very simple, as you may see over here. And the first organism getting the sunlight is the tree, of course. The tree is using the energy from the sun to produce sugar and oxygen, and the plant is using it, the tree is also using nutrients from the soil, and with that combination it's producing the energy for all the parts of the plant. What happens, we have another organism right here, the termite. um, Once the termite starts eating the tree, I mean the leaves or any other part of the tree, the termite is getting the energy that the tree got from the sun, right? So the energy is being transferred. We look at the chain. The sun, the first, the main source of energy is the sun over here, right? So it gives the energy to the tree, then the energy is transferred from the tree to the termite, and then the kinkajou, which is this animal over here, will probably eat the termite. And that way, the energy will pass from the termite to the kinkajou. After that, we have another animal, which is the jaguar. The jaguar will probably eat the kinkajou, um, which means the energy will pass uh, from the kinkajou to the jaguar. Hold on, give me 1 second. There are some people raising their hands. Let me see. Yes, Benjamin or Valeria. Hello.
Nothing, mister, nothing.
Okay.
No,
And
that I don't find a button to put down the
what do you mean by that? I'm not understanding what you're saying.
cell phone. Just says to raise the hand, but I don't have to put down the
But what the question is, why are you raising the hand? I thought you had something to say. Well,
not
anyways.
that I want to read.
Oh, okay. I understand. So you want to read the next part? All right. So it says over here. A food chain shows a simple view of energy flow in an ecosystem. The arrows show how the energy flows. All right. Energy pyramid. Okay, go ahead, Benjamin. Benjamin, are you there?
Sorry that yes, that I forgot to mute the mic.
Okay.
The energy pyramid shows the relative amount of energy available at position or level in the fitting order. As you compare levels, notice that the amount of energy available decreases as you move up the pyramid. Only species is shown at the level. In reality, there are many species at each level.
You can continue, please.
Okay, with predator.
Yes.
A predator is an animal that hunts and eats another animal. The animal that is eaten is called the prey. A predator is always on higher level of the energy pyramid that prey it consumes. The energy flows from the prey to the predator.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we have the pyramid over here. Let me gonna zoom in this a little bit because it's all right. So better now. Okay, so we have the pyramid over here. At the top of the pyramid, we have the predator, which is the jaguar. Then we have the kinkajou, then the termites, and on the base, we have the producers, which are the plants. Okay, so look, the sun gives the energy or provides the energy for the producers. The producer use the energy from the sun to make sugar and oxygen through a process that is called photosynthesis, right? And after that, well, because the trees are able to produce their own food, their own energy, these animals on the second level or on the second position, the termites will probably eat the trees, not the whole trees probably, but they will eat part of the trees. And so that means that the energy will pass from the trees to the termites. Okay, it says organisms at each level store some energy and use some energy for life processes. Only about 1/10 of the energy flows to the next higher level. The rest is lost as heat. So what happens over here? It says the 1/10. Oh, hold on one second. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. 1/10. So 1/10 of the energy flows to the next higher level. For example, the plants are getting the energy from the sun, right? But from the whole amount of energy that these plants are getting, they are going to use, obviously, they are going to use part of the energy that they're getting. Okay, it's not that the whole amount of energy will pass to the other organism. Why? Because the plants also need some energy to produce their food, okay, to carry out photosynthesis. And so only about 1/10, okay, 1/10 of the energy will come to this level in here, okay? So that means that the termites will only get 1/10 of the energy that the plants or the trees got originally, okay? So from this 1/10 of the energy that these termites are getting, they will also use part of the energy, okay? So that means that to the next level, only 1/10 of the energy that they got will be passed, okay? And so on. The kinkajous are going to get just 1/10 from the energy that termites got from the trees, okay? And give me 1 second here. The jaguar is going to get also just 1/10 of the energy from the kinkajou. So what happens over here? Uh, the whole amount of energy that the trees got from the sun, it's not getting all the way to the top, okay? So why? Because it is decreasing from level to level, right? Because each organism is using part of the energy. So at the end, the jaguar is getting just one part of the whole energy that the trees were getting from the sun originally, okay? And why does this happen? Well, the energy is flowing, like I said, and each organism is using part of the energy. So the rest of the energy, where is the rest of the energy? Um, well, it is lost as heat, which means, for example, the termites use the rest of the energy um, as heat because they needed the heat as a form of energy in their organisms. And it's going to be the same with the kinkajous, and it's going to be the same with the jaguar as well. All right, now let me scroll down. Food webs. So we have another, let me see. Yeah, we have more time. Food webs. I'm going to have, let me see right here. Wendy, can you please go ahead and read food webs? Hello, Wendy, are you there? Should I unmute your mic?
Mister, I can read.
Hello?
Mister, I can read.
Hold on, Adriana, I think, Wendy, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Relationships among the species in a community are complex. A food web is a diagram that shows how all the different food chains in a community are linked together. It shows how energy and nutrients flow among the organisms in the different food chains in an ecosystem. A food web surely shows how organisms are dependent on each other.
The arrows show uh, the relationships. Notice now how many more arrows there are even in the simplified food web, shown there than there were in the food chain. Study the simplified food web below.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have something over here. A food web. What is a food web? It's a combination of all the food chains in a community. Okay. Um, so this you have these two pages. Like the picture is in the two pages in your book. So unfortunately, I can't show the two pages at the same time because I don't have two screens. But
Okay.
this is an example of a simplified food web. As you may see, this is the rainforest plants
I'm very
represented by the
confused.
trees. Yeah. So look, the beetle and the mako get their energy from the trees, from the fruit of the tree, and also the howler monkey. Why are these consumers getting the energy from this producer directly from this producer? Because they are herbivores, and they eat only plants, right? We have the ants and the termites as well, and also the kinkajou. Well, the kinkajou is it's part of
Carnivore.
yeah, because it is supposed to eat the termites, okay, or as many probably some many other insects, and so these food chains, for example, the maca belongs to the same the food chain. Let me show the next one over here, to the anteater and to the jaguar as well. So the three of them belong to the same food chain. And if you see the termites, the tree, well, the tree is in all the food chains, right? Because it is a producer. Another food chain is like, for example, the ants and the termites belong to the same food chain as the sloth and the kinkajou, and also the anteater and the jaguar as well, and so on, right? So all the food chains are connected somehow, right? We can see the bacteria over here and the fungi. These are, do you remember how we call these organisms,
Um,
Adriana?
Consumers?
No,
No,
these
no, no.
organisms over here, the fungi, the decomposing leaves, the bacteria, these are decomposers, okay? So decomposers, and are
Decomposer.
also part of the of a food chain. Okay, Adriana, go ahead and read the this part, please.
Me, mister?
Yes.
Okay. The rainforest food web is a part of the rainforest ecosystem. The rainforest ecosystem, like all ecosystems, in a complex system that has many parts, some living and some non-living. All the parts are important, like other systems. If one part is removed, many other parts may be affected. Imagine what might happen if something changed the food web on page A 126 and A 127. In just one word, you might think this will be good news for its prey, such as the anteater. What will actually happen is very hard to predict. Here is one possibility with no jaguars to eat them. The number of anteaters might increase. However, their food supply will not increase, and hunters will have to search harder and longer for food. There might not be enough food for all the hunters. With with more hunters, the number of ants, termites will decrease. This might affect the number of can use slow and red eyes tree frogs because they too eat ants and termites. Because the ants and termites help recycle nutrients in dead leaves and trees, there might be fewer nutrients for plants. You can see how just one change could describe even this simplified food web. When one organism in a food web is removed, important change may occur. Usually, the change results in an ecosystem with fewer species.
Fewer species. Fewer species. Okay. Um, in a food chain, guys, it is important to keep balance, right? I mean, if a change occurs in the food chain, for example, well, human beings are always destroying the environment and and getting rid of many different species, causing a lot of problems in an ecosystem. What happens, for example, if imagine if we eliminate one of these animals in this food chain, what's going to happen? If we, for example, eliminate the anteater from this food chain, what's going to happen is that there will be an increase of ants and termites because this animal over here is not longer controlling um, these animals, right? And as a consequence, the jaguar will not longer have anything to eat. I mean, the jaguar can eat many other animals as well, but uh, the jaguar will not
It's
be able to eat an eater anymore because if we remove it from the chain, it's not going to be available, causing that the jaguar probably will have to find another animal to eat, and I mean there will be um, fewer organisms for the jaguar to eat. Okay, so that's may cause scarcity, and any animal that we move from or any organism that we move from the change is going to affect the whole chain and the whole process, causing um, the ecosystem to change and has fewer species. Okay. All right. What are we going to do? The homework, guys, is you're going to go ahead and copy lesson 3 review. Okay. And you are going just to copy. Okay. You're not going to answer. Just copy it and we're going to go ahead and discuss it for the next class next week. We're going to answer these together, okay?
Mister,
Yes.
Mister,
Okay,
you
mister.
can send to the chat, please.
It's in the chat already, miss.
Thank you.
Okay. And let me stop sharing and let me stop recording as well, guys. Also